Hello everybody, Dark Skeleton here, and today we're taking a look at one new card from the Whispers of the Old Gods set, which is kind of interesting in some ways and kind of ridiculous in some others. It's called Doom, the new Warlock Epic, a 10 mana spell, which, if you remember, there's only a few of in the game, and they're all pretty insane. Of course, they have to be, because 10 mana is asking a lot. So you're thinking anything can happen kind of cards. And what Doom does is it destroys all minions, so it's a Twisting Nether. Plus, for 2 more mana, you draw a card for each mana destroyed. Which, I'm not actually sure if that's a good effect or not. You would think, like, whoa, you get to clear the board and gain 7 cards or whatever, but you gotta remember this is the Warlock class we're dealing with here. Warlock can and usually does just live tap for any of the cards they need throughout the game. They don't often need to they can play, but they don't need to play cards like Azure Drake or Mortal Coil, for instance, to keep going with cards. They help, but Life Tap is always there. So drawing a bunch of cards as an effect for Warlock is pretty unnecessary most of the time. If you're going to be playing a card that's 10 mana in Warlock, you're probably talking about a Handlock style deck. It could be Reno Lock, it could be Dreadsteeds, whatever Dreadsteeds happen to do. I guess Dreadsteeds will actually be out of the meta now that Mal'Ganis is gone. Or it could just be a classic Handlock anyway. And in all of those cases, it's pretty easy to keep your hand full, like at 8 or 9 cards to begin with, and that's half the point of playing those style of decks or just playing the Warlock class in general. So I think the idea here is that by playing a card like Doom, you can bring out Cthulhu faster because you're cycling into your deck. You're basically getting the cards you need quicker. Um, though that said, are there really that many situations where A, you can afford to spend 10 mana, B, you don't have too many cards in hand already, and 3, by playing a card that clears the board, it's not going to leave you at a significant disadvantage because remember, this takes up your entire turn. So if you play Doom, and let's just say, for instance, the new version of Piloted Shredder or whatever is on the field, and Death Rattle happens. So you don't even really clear the board. You give your opponent tempo back because it's going to be their turn right after you play this, and all you really do is fill your hand up with a bunch of cards, which may even be overdrawing. I mean, drawing 3, 4, 5, 6 cards or something like that is often too much, especially with a hand lock. So, long story short, when it comes to that, I imagine that this card would have to fit into a unique type of deck. Maybe one that, for one reason or another, doesn't utilize life tap as much. It could be like an aggressive Cthulhu deck that just tries to play the hand out as fast as possible, sort of like a zoo. But then it's not playing Doomguard. Instead, it's playing Cthulhu Synergy. So by the time you get to turn 10, your hand is going kind of empty because it's Zoo style. But then for some reason you want to destroy the whole board. That doesn't make any sense, does it? So it's kind of strange. It's kind of strange. I guess what you could do is play Doom when you're ready to play a Cthulhu, but you haven't drawn it yet. You draw into your Cthulhu by drawing 4 or 5 cards. And then at that point, whatever your opponent does on the next turn is irrelevant because your Cthulhu's like a 14-14 or 16-16 or something insane like that. And your battle cry is just going to do enough damage to defeat them, basically like Pyroblast to the face. Theoretically, could be something like that. It's just hard to see where this card fits in because drawing multiple cards is not something Warlock really needs. And spending 10 mana on a board clear is not something really any class can afford. Like, a warrior can brawl, but often if a warrior brawls, it's not even enough to stop them from dying, and that's for like 5 mana on turn 5, 6, 7 or something like that. So I don't see this card currently being playable. But new set, new expansion, there'll be new cards to work around this. Maybe you play Sir Finley McGurgleton and you give up life tap. I don't know. I just don't know. It's interesting though. So we'll have to see how it actually turns out. But more than likely, it's going to be one of those really unusual epics that rarely sees play. I'm not expecting to see it in Constructed. But in any case, I've been Dark Skeleton. So tune in in the next couple days for some more card reviews, because this set is really, really weird. And it'll be fun to see how things turn out in the end after all the cards are revealed, after we've gotten a chance to play some standard mode, and see just how the game changes dramatically. So, once again, I've been Dark Skeleton. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.